Каждый вторник в 12:10 один из самых известных раввинов нашего времени, Манис Фридман, в прямом эфире отвечает на вопросы наших слушателей. Вы услышите мнение самой мудрой книги человечества – Библии, о самых сложных проблемах, стоящих перед современным миром. Присылайте ваши вопросы заранее на наш имейл info@rosa.fm или во время передачи по СМС 347 460 08 77.
Добрый день всем, кто сейчас настроен на радио USA. Сегодня вторник, говорим Thank God it's Tuesday, потому что есть у нас шанс пообщаться с самым светлым, самым мудрым раввином нашего времени и задать ему самые животрепещущие вопросы, которые у нас есть. И сегодняшний вопрос, наверное, самый-самый животрепещущий, который я бы хотела задать раввину Манису Фридману. Об этом говорит весь мир постоянно на протяжении уже очень многих лет, примерно уже почти 6 тысяч мы говорим об этом. Вот о чем мы говорим? Ну, где же уже Машиах? Я думаю, что этот вопрос имеет смысл получить ответ. И чем побыстрее, поэтому обращаемся к нашему замечательному раввину Манису Фридману. Rabbi Manis Friedman, we always have very, very important questions to ask you on this Thank God It's Tuesday when we have this opportunity to speak with you. And this question is probably the most important question that we haven't spoke about in a long time. And a lot of time has passed. So the question is, no, where is Mashiach? We've been very patient, very patient.
Way too patient.
Yes. So, you know, we're saying any minute, any day, any second, everything is pointing to it. We're trying, we're spreading information. Things are being revealed. Everything that is prophesized is pretty much already here and open. I mean, with the help of wonderful ChatGPT, what do we need to see? We need to see confusion, it's here. We need to see disrespect for each other, it's here. Wars and upheavals, all here. Jews coming back to Israel, happening. Land of Israel blossoming, happening. Increase in Torah learning, look what we're doing right now. What is it? Suffering and tests, oh boy, do we have those. Renewed hope and spiritual awakening, yeah, I think it's here too. So what are we doing wrong, or what are we just not doing yet? Seems like all the prophecies have come to fruition.
You know, there are times when you should not justify God. It's not our job. We don't know enough to do it anyway. So we shouldn't do that. The question of where is Mashiach is not really a question. It's a demand. We really don't understand why Mashiach is not here. And what in the world are we supposed to prove that we haven't already proven? That we can trust God? Oh, we have proven that. That we are patient? Way too patient. That we can tolerate abuse? What, 2,000 years is not enough? It has to be 2001? There's no explanation. But something very, very important and interesting. All of the symptoms that the Gemara, the sages give us for the times of Mashiach, they're all very negative. There will be chutzpah, there will be no leadership, there will be no money. All the symptoms. The Rebbe says those negative symptoms are not just there to drive us into Mashiach's arms out of desperation. All those negative traits need to be transformed into positive. Like, for example, children will talk back to their parents. Do we have that?
Big time.
The Rebbe says, that's so good. When children are inspiring their parents, wow. So what's going to happen in the end of days, in the days of Mashiach? Children will be inspiring their parents in godliness, in mitzvahs, by demanding. Not disrespectfully, but correctly. In fact, there is a prophecy that says that in the end of days, children will return their parents to the tradition of Judaism, which is an amazingly ridiculous, outrageous prediction. How do children who were not given a tradition bring their parents back to the tradition? What kind of tradition is that comes from children? So it's something much more than tradition. It's the essence of the Jewishness of the soul. We assume that the Jewishness in children comes from their parents. I taught you, I inspired you, I guided you, I disciplined you, and that's where your Judaism comes from. But in the days of Mashiach, we will experience the truth. And the truth is, our Jewishness does not come from our nurturing, it comes from our nature. And so it is possible that children will be able to inspire their parents because it is a condition of the soul, not a tradition in the classical sense of the word, that is passed on from the elders to the youngers. So that is happening too. People are becoming more observant because of their children. Whether the children are demanding it, having children demands it. There are actually people who don't want to have children. They're afraid. What are you afraid of? Not the expense. That's a cheap excuse. No pun intended. No, they're afraid to have children because the children are going to ask and they don't have answers. So those who do have children are desperate to find the answers, even before the children demand and ask. So yes, we are becoming better Jews because of our children. And then when the children do ask, we need to find answers, not lies.
Rabbi Friedman, how is it possible, about what you just said, that there are people who are learned and then there are people who are not learned, but they're naturally sometimes kinder and better than the people who are learned? Which of course raises the question, why should I learn if it's not forming me, if it's not making me better? But we see that all around right now.
Well, if the learning doesn't make you a better person, you haven't learned. You've read. It's not the same. You're well read. Doesn't mean you've learned. It doesn't mean you're wiser. So unless you come away a better person, you've learned nothing. Or somebody once said, you learned the Torah? What did the Torah learn you? That's the real question. The other prediction is that there will be no leadership. Or more specifically, the leaders of the generation will follow what the people want. They're not really leaders. They're just voicing what the people want. Well, that sounds like democracy, doesn't it?
Yes.
The leaders don't decide anything. The leaders represent what the people want. So although it sounds like a criticism, I mean, a terrible time, the leaders will be following the people. Bring it on. If the leaders would follow the people, we would have a much better world. Because the silent majority are good people. The loud voices are polarizing, which doesn't produce anything good. So if the leaders would really listen to the people, we would have a very good world. So by saying that before Mashiach comes, the leaders will follow the people, that's not a threat. That's not a worry. On the contrary, now we know Mashiach is close. Because as we get closer to Mashiach, the truth becomes more obvious, more powerful. The days of lying are over. And anybody who doesn't catch on is just going to go down with the ship. So if those leaders had any sense, like Gorbachev did, don't go down with the ship. Don't sacrifice your life to a false god. Stand up and tell the truth, and you'll be the hero. That's the direction we're going in. And there will be a shortage of cash. There will be no coins in your pocket. Is that bad? Or does that mean that we won't need coins?
Rabbi Friedman, can I share something really, really funny with you? So on August 7th in the Catskills, there was truly a historic event. In Bethel Woods, which is the Woodstock grounds where, free love, free spirit festivals took place, for the first time ever was an all-Jewish, let's call it Woodstock. It was all Jewish performers. The star of the show was Ishay Ribo. And every stand there was selling kosher food. And it was very funny because as you entered to the concert, it was right before sundown. So you had a lot of minions praying mincha. And it was exactly like any other concert, except everything was about God. And I really, really remembered your words, that there's not going to be any cash in your pockets. Because when I tried to buy something at that concert, I was told, we don't accept cash. And I'm like, okay, we're in a place where bad things used to happen, and now everything is about God and prayers and everything. 15,000 Jewish people basically praising God, looking for redemption, having a really good time together. Everything is kosher. So many prayers, including on the stage when Ishay Ribo took a drink. First he said the bracha on the drink, and everybody went, amen. And I'm like, okay, is this it? Is this what Rabbi Friedman was talking about? No cash in the pockets, So it was just, I just wanted to share it because I thought of you at that particular moment. So is that what it is?
How many people were there?
15,000. 15,000 sold out. It was incredible. It was truly a very moving, spiritual, amazing. It was families, it was with youth. It was there was sections where men and women could sit separately if that's what they desire. It's all outdoors. It's the ground of Woodstock. We know what was always taking place there, and then we just went with our own energy and created something completely new. And I just wanted to share it with you and of course with the audience.
Yes, quite impressive. And all of his music, by the way, is so godly. It's so honest. No shtick.
Yeah.
You know, like he didn't smash his guitar after he ended.
Well, he had a lot of good guests too. He had Abraham Fried there and Schwanke and I can't remember everybody, but it was just like really fun. But it was just like, I've been to a lot of concerts. I'll be honest, and it was a lot of fun. Like, you know, the energy was there, but the difference was that everything was about soul, God, redemption, and just all really, really good things. And that's what separated this from all other concerts that I've ever been to. And especially in this place, this was not my first visit there as well. A very big difference between Santana and other concerts.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So one of the things we should consider is, how did this affect God? What does he think of that? Did he enjoy this concert?
Hopefully.
I mean, it was all about him. I shouldn't even ask that. I should say, how much did he enjoy this concert? It can shift. I mean, there are times when God is so pleased with his creation. There are times that he's so pained by it. What did this concert do? I'm sure it pleased him so much that he's willing to overlook a lot of garbage. This makes up for a lot of negativity and a lot of bad stuff. So, does that bring Mashiach a little closer?
Hopefully.
More than we can imagine. I mean, if you were God,
No.
and you look down and this is happening, wouldn't you think, can I allow these people to suffer another day without Mashiach? How could I be so cruel? That's what God is thinking.
So the obvious question is, all the signs are here, all the prophecies already came to fruition, we're doing a lot of good things. What's going on? Why are we, what can we do more, and why isn't it here yet? Why isn't Mashiach here yet?
So is it merely a coincidence that the week after that concert, all the leaders of European countries are sitting like children in a classroom in the White House? Is this not the most unbelievable scene you could possibly imagine? They were sitting there like kids in a classroom with the president sitting by his desk. No one would ever have predicted such a thing. And did everyone come away impressed? Sounds like. Remember those bumper stickers? Visualize world peace. They're very popular. Visualize world peace. Don't demand it, because that's unrealistic. First, try to even visualize such a thing. And even with our best attempts at visualizing world peace, no one saw a picture of all the leaders of Europe sitting in literally like children in a classroom with the teacher at the desk.
What do we make of it, though? I mean,
I don't. It is so mind-boggling.
it's cute, but what does it mean?
It's so potent. This could bring world peace, or so it's a very powerful event. It broke all the rules. People who could never sit together with each other, who would never come and sit in the United States, in the White House, like an audience to listen to the president. It is, I don't know, the anti-Trumpers, how are they feeling these days? Like total idiots?
They're still there. That's the big this is the big question. There's still haters out there.
But they're so miserable. You can see it on their faces. Unbelievable. So why do things have to happen so slowly? The only thing I can think of is God wanted to take the Jews out of Egypt because they were suffering too much. The pain had become unbearable. So the moment God decided to take the Jews out of Egypt, until they actually left Egypt, how long was that? 11 months? Why not immediately? The only explanation is that God wanted Egypt to see the truth. You're in Egypt, you're going to leave Egypt, and there'll be no improvement. Egypt will be no better off. You were there, you suffered being there, and you left, and there's no improvement. That can't be. So before the Jews could leave, the people had to come to power and said, let them go. Don't you see this is the finger of God? Then Pharaoh said, yes, it is the finger of God, and we have to let them go. He let them go, and then 3 days later went chasing them. What happened at the splitting of the sea? It's described in the Torah as they all saw the hand of God. A finger is not enough. So in Egypt, they recognized the finger of God in nature. That the blood, the river turning to blood was not a natural occurrence, and the collection of frogs was not a seasonal event. That was the finger of God. At the splitting of the sea, they saw the hand of God. Because then they died. They saw the hand of God, but they didn't live to tell the story, except for Pharaoh himself. He survived. And he went on to become the king of Nineveh, where Jonah came. Jonah came to deliver the warning. And the entire country did tshuva. They all repented, beginning with the king, who was Pharaoh. So we can't just leave this ugly, nasty, anti-Semitic world. without the world having learned something, grown, improved. And who has to improve? Not those who were good all along. The worst of the worst. The Pharaoh himself. And we have a lot of pharaohs in our time. They all have to say, yes, God is right, the Torah is right, the Jews are right, and then the world can be right. So we have to keep our eye on that. If you want to know whether Mashiach is more present, more evident, look at the moral progress, not the political progress. Is morality increasing?
Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. It's hard to tell if it is.
All the nations getting together in order to make peace between Russia and Ukraine? Is that not beating their swords into plowshares? If they continue along the right path. But this is certainly a promising something that we have to not only hope that it'll go where it's meant to go, but actually trust that it will. So beating swords into plowshares is not a poetic event. It's all the nations getting together to make peace because they don't tolerate war. They will learn war no more. This could be it. We have to be confident that this is what it's going to lead to because it's time. That prophecy has been hanging on the wall of the United Nations, but never was there any sign that we're actually getting there, especially in the United Nations. So it's time for that prophecy written in stone on the building of the United Nations. It's time for it to happen. And if this is how it happens, great. Great. Let's cheer it on. Not question it or deprecate it. This is good. This can be it.
God willing, that would be amazing. Again, I'm sure I'm not the only one Jew out there with a feeling that we're approaching another New Year, Jewish New Year, start of the year, that in a week the king is going to be in the field. That's a very, very auspicious time for the world. And I'm getting butterflies in my stomach, to be honest. And the hopefulness, of course, is again on the high rise. And the fear of disappointment as well.
Yeah, it's very funny. We're very skeptical. We don't really think it's going to happen. But when it does happen, we'll all say, oh, I know, yeah. Prophecy, we all knew all along, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
But I'm sure everybody can share what I'm saying, that every year it gets a little bit more and more frustrating because it feels so much closer and the hopefulness is through the roof. And every time you think it's going to happen this holiday, or this is the event, or this is the... And then unfortunately it passes and it's so difficult. It's so difficult to keep on hanging on. We have no choice, but it's still. I don't think I'm the only one feeling it, and I believe I'm sharing lots of people's attitudes here.
Well, that's why we need to talk about it, and we need to be confident in the power of truth. Truth will win, no matter how many times it seems like it loses. Truth can't lose. It can only be ignored, but it can't lose. It can't. So if, God forbid, this doesn't lead to something incredible, we should be shocked.
Will that help?
In other words, yes. We should be shocked because we really expect it to happen. If it doesn't happen, that's weird. If it does happen, I know, of course. So, if you really believe in truth, of course you're going to be shocked when it doesn't happen. And you should be. But to become cynical and say, it didn't happen, right? I knew it wouldn't happen. That we can't go that way.
Rabbi Friedman, the Rebbe also told us that we need to learn about Mashiach. And I got to be honest, when I went into that one on ChatGPT, it didn't give me as clear directions tons of resources out there, but nothing like GPT does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is Mashiach. So where do you suggest we, obviously Rambam, but that's a lot of learning. Are there cliff notes on Mashiach? Is there a way people can, learn it quickly? How and where?
The Lubavitcher Rebbe on Mashiach. And we just shared that all these negative descriptions of the days before Mashiach are really positive, or can go either way. And we're seeing the positive side. So we've just learned something about Mashiach. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah. The Rebbe was the expert on the subject. If you want to know anything about Mashiach, look it up in the Rebbe's talks, in the Rebbe's letters, in the Rebbe's in the Rebbe's revelation of what Mashiach is in our times and what we should be looking for.
I know this is not fair to do because we have probably another 5 minutes or so, but is it possible for you to give us a synopsis of what we should concentrate on in this period of time, so we can walk away with something and contemplate on it until we meet again?
For the last 2,000 years, with no need to blame anyone, for the last 2,000 years, the idea of serving God was severely questioned, doubted, dismissed, ridiculed, either because there's no need to serve God, He loves you as you are, or we don't know how to serve God, we have forgotten how to do that, or simply because of greed. I have bigger needs than God, so whatever God wants is not really pressing. My needs are pressing. Right? Whatever the approach was, the one thing they all had in common is we're not serving God. We can't, we don't know how, it's not necessary, He doesn't care, whatever. If we want to see Mashiach progress, Is that changing? Are people starting to say, we really should be doing something, not just demanding from him? So I got this JLI retreat I was just at. I heard this woman saying, an Israeli woman, the campaign in Israel and everywhere else, bring them home, the hostages. She was saying, you're demanding from Israel that Israel should bring them home? Whose side are you on? It's Israel's fault that there are hostages? Shouldn't the demand be addressed to the Muslims? Return them, not bring them home. And the same thing in a not so distant past. Peace now. Very strong, very intense movement. Peace now. Who are you shouting at? Who should make peace now? Israel? It's bad enough that the enemies blame everything on us. We have Jews within Israel blames Israel for everything. It's your fault there's no peace. It's your fault there are hostages. If that starts to change, and at least one voice has been raised, if we stop blaming ourselves or each other, if we start to appreciate that even with our biggest mistakes and our biggest blunders, we are the greatest blessing the world has, like many of the non-Jews actually believe, but they have to convince us. That would be incredibly good progress. Now, when 15,000, mostly Israelis, American singers, Jewish singers don't get that kind of crowd. It takes an Israeli singer to come to America to get that kind of a crowd, right?
Yes.
When they're all there, dancing and singing about God, the biggest part of it, the most important part of it, is Jewish pride. Because we've been missing that for so long. That they would get together in public, outdoors, not hiding in some synagogue, an outdoor concert that of course talks about God, and they daven mincha, and they gave tzedakah, whatever else they did there. But the most encouraging thing is that they were proud. They felt comfortable and confident in their identity. We need a little more of that. Ironically, we need more of that in Israel. You would think that they would be the most proud and the most comfortable and the most confident. They're not. They're not. They feel so guilty. They feel so unjustified. And it all comes from the enemy propaganda. You buy into it? A little more confidence and everything changes. And why should we be confident? Why we should be confident? Because we're God's voice. It's not that we are right, God is right. It's his world. It should be his way. Again, that's so logical and so simple. In his world, he should have it his way. Not by dictation, by dictatorship, but by right. In his world, you do it his way. You want to do it some other way? Create a world of your own. Hey, remember that joke about the atheist who said to God, "We don't need you anymore. We have technology and we can do anything you can do." So God says, "Can you make a man out of dust?" He says, "Yes, we have the technology." God says, "Go ahead, make a man out of dust." So he starts gathering up the dust, and God says, No, not my dust. You want to have it your way? Create some dust and build your own universe, and there you can do it your way.
Right,
Living in God's world,
yeah.
he should have a say, shouldn't he?
Yes. And he gave us all the instructions. Just follow the instructions. Just here it is. It's simple. Just follow. But Rabbi Friedman, amazing. Thank you so much. This was incredibly enlightening and fun and spiritual, and hopefully everybody took everything they need away from this conversation. And as I always say, take it away and spread it around.
Somebody started a project. I just saw this online. I have no idea who this is. He says he turned 34. It's his 34th birthday. And he decided he has to get 34 men to put on tefillin. And he has this little counter on his wall. He clicks them off as he...
It's nice.
You're 34 years old? Influence 34 people. Not asking too much. If you're 80 years old and get 80 people to put on film at your age, okay, that may be a little too demanding. But how about 8? If everyone made it their business to influence positively the number of people that is your age. If you're 18, get 18 women to light Shabbos candles. If you're male, get 18 guys to put on tefillin. Don't be passive. Do something for God.
Rabbi Friedman, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. This incredible inspiration that you give us every Tuesday during Thank God It's Tuesday. Never get tired of waking up and thinking, thank God it's Tuesday. We get Rabbi Friedman's wisdom today. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for your time, which is priceless. And so looking forward to our next conversation. They're always amazing and very, very needed in this time of day.
Did you have a reason for choosing Tuesday?
No, but after I did, I found out a whole bunch of phenomenal stuff about it. Spiritual and not, including the fact that I was born on a Tuesday. but that I found out after. Thank God it's Tuesday, not before.
Each day of creation, God said, it is good.
Tuesday.
On Friday of creation, God said, it's very good. But on Tuesday, God said, it is good twice.
It's very good. I second that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week and looking forward to more of your wisdom, not just here on the radio, but everywhere you are. And thank you for that light that you bring to the world on your YouTube channel, on It's Good to Know website, on everything you do for in so many different places, and all the books that you have written. Thank you so much, Robert Friedman. Till next, thank God it's Tuesday. Ну а всем, кто нас сегодня слушал, большое вам спасибо. Спасибо за то, что вы есть. Спасибо, что вы вместе с нами заряжаетесь мудростью, позитивной энергией. И надеюсь, что вы также ее и распространяете дальше. С этими словами я, Аня Пекерман, прощаюсь со всеми. До следующей недели.